Refresh. Oh. Refresh. No. Oh, hi, Cubs friends. We're sitting here just waiting for something to happen. So while you wait, why don't you come hang out on the CHGO Cubs podcast for the next hour? It's coming up right now, presented by Toyota. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs podcast on a Monday. What's up, everybody? Come on in. It's presented by Toyota. As always, let's go places. Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman here, Sarah running the ones and twos, and I hate...
Go Cubs.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. And I hate to break the bad news. Unfortunately, Luke is still under the weather.
Man.
Hoping to get him back.
Miss you, buddy.
We got him doing towel drills. That's a Cubs joke, but I don't think the towel drills are what you expect. It's probably the heated towel over the forehead.
Right.
Dude's been down.
Yeah.
Dude's been down, but he's not out. Hopefully we'll have him back sometime this week.
Can I make one request? Next time he comes in here, maybe for a full week, can he wear a mask? Just mask him up, just to make sure we don't get whatever he's
I want him in a Havac suit.
Yeah.
I want him literally like sick drip. It's basically what I want him doing.
It's hard to eat rally cake when you got a mask on too. It's like, but he can find a way, I'm sure.
Happy holidays to everyone in the chat. Becky, good to see you. Corey, interesting question. I don't know if we'll be able to answer that in great detail now, but there is an answer to that coming. Vince Perez, man, a good friend that came out to Old Crow Smokehouse when we were watching Cubs Brewers, sickos in the chat. And Gary, let's find out, my friend. He says already with a Toyota super chat, how are Justin and I not going to agree on today?
Yeah, me and Gary apparently we're like oil and vinegar. We don't our philosophies don't line up, but I think we both agree we want the Cubs to win and win a World Series, so we have that in common, but how we get there is a bit different.
Hey, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? Real quick, before we dive into it, how's your holiday?
It was awesome, man. It was really, really cool. And family time. You know, we did the draft back in the day, and I still stand behind Jesus #1 in the first round, Santa #2 in the second round. I still feel like, I don't know how the Twitter poll ended up, but I still feel like my draft was the strongest. And anybody who doesn't agree with that might be going down below, because, I mean, how can you bet against Jesus and Santa?
Well, I will tell you, as I said on the show, Twitter is a sick, strange place, and I won.
Oh, man. Unreal.
And I can't really take a victory lap because I can't say that I agree with it.
Right.
I tell you, there's not better 1-2 draft picks. There's not an Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler better than Jesus and Santa in a Christmas draft.
You would have voted for me. I mean, crazy.
I did vote for you.
You did
actually.
vote for me.
I'm not voting for myself.
And I still lost.
I'm not voting against Santa and Jesus. Cinnamon rolls, were they good?
They were unbelievable. And me and my 11-year-old, we had 2 each for the 3 days after Christmas. I mean, so I might be a little heavier than I was before Christmas, but now I go back to my no sweets. I don't want to say diet, but I don't do sweets anymore. I Thanksgiving till Christmas, I had no sweets, and then I loaded up on cinnamon rolls, and now I'm back to hopefully being a healthier version of myself.
Back in the lab.
Yeah. Right.
I am not a healthier version of myself currently. Me and my wife bought $30 worth of chicken pot pie from Wild Fork, and we hung out all day and just exchanged presents.
Awesome.
I think I scored on the presents with my wife this year.
Awesome.
Just watch movies, watch Knives Out, watch Stranger Things,
Awesome.
watch a little basketball, try to refresh my phone, check up on some Cubs news, but...
Yeah. Lack thereof.
Yeah, no, or lack thereof.
I did tease our last show I was on with you guys. I teased there was a big Christmas surprise in the Roman family. I couldn't talk about it, but now I can. Me and my wife Kenzie surprised our boys. We're all going to Universal Studios at the end of January.
In Florida?
In Florida.
Wow.
Our first family vacation of 4. Very excited about that. So, I got to tell Jake I'm going to be off January 27th.
I don't know. Jake's going to make you work. He's going to have you call in from Harry Potter land. Oh.
Oh,
very
thanks,
nice.
Thanks, Jake. Way to tease me on my diet.
A little slide right in there, just going to tempt you for a little bit there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Good dad move.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Very, very happy for you for that. So let's dive into some action here,
Yes.
or lack thereof, as you said. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about Imai. We are definitely going to talk about a lot of rumors, whether we're either going to fan the flames or dispel some of the rumors about is Nico Hoerner on the trade block again. But Justin, let's start first with something that's been near and dear to Jed's heart all offseason long. Another pitcher added to the bullpen. This time, former Kansas City Royal Hunter Harvey added to the mix. $6 million for a one-year deal, which is only behind Phil Maton's 7.5. So this is, the price should also correlate with what I think the confidence is with Jed. I want to get your first impression, though, of what you think about Hunter Harvey being added to the mix here.
I love it. High reward type signing. I mean, this guy could be an elite bullpen piece if he stays healthy. Now, listen, a couple years ago, he was healthy and he was dominant. He's fallen on tough times the past couple years when it comes to injury concerns. But you know what? Like, it's one of those things where if he was a surefire, perfect health for the past 10 years, you're not signing him at $6 million, right? So it is one of those things where it's kind of a risk, but it's a high reward risk. I'm still thinking of cinnamon rolls and stuff. But no, it's a high reward risk, and I love the signing. And I'm an optimistic guy by nature. I feel like a healthy Hunter is going to be phenomenal for us in the back end of our bullpen with Palencia.
Yeah, look, so, you already evoked the IHSH, which is not, it's not a collegiate or a high school program. That's if he stays healthy.
Right.
That's going to be a big part about this conversation when we have with Hunter Harvey, excuse me. I got football on my mind. But let's just go back a little bit about some of the pros, right? And I think some of the reasons why the Cubs signed and some of the things you've already highlighted. Let's roll it back to 2023 because the most important thing the Cubs fans need to remember is that he's only pitched 16 1/3 innings since August of 2024. During that time, he's had groin issues, he's had shoulder issues, he's had back problems. He's had previous issues before with oblique stuff and elbow stuff, but I'm not going to really ding him on that by going through the litany of all the history injury problems that he's had. So in 2023, I think this was the year that obviously the Cubs looked at and said, wow, we'd be really interested in this guy. Four-seam fastball average of 98.3 through that 60% at the time. Through a split at 89.3, 19%. A split that if you looked at the chart really busts in hard on right-handed hitters. So you got a guy throwing hard heat and then he's trying to break some bats inside and then throws a slider at about 86 miles an hour at 14%. During that time, 96th percentile in velocity with a K rate of 28.5%. 5.5% walk rate, which is the 89th percentile. In 2024, prior to his injury, before he got traded to the Kansas City Royals, those numbers dipped just a little bit. 96 miles an hour on the fastball in 2024. Still really hard, but just a small downturn there, which led to a K rate that also went down to 25.5 and a walk rate that went up to 7.2. What they love about him, or what the geeks or what the nerds love about him, is if you look at his spin rate on his four-seam, it is one of the better spin rates in fastball. So that thing comes at you really hard, and he throws a great high fastball. So, Justin, I'm with you. I find it, though, I find it very curious that I understand that it's only $6 million, but for people that like to give Jed or even Carter a hard time for being really risk-averse, this feels like kind of a risky move, right? And I'm trying to also... I'm trying to couch that by also saying I want the Cubs to take risks, right? We want them to go out there and we want them to try and shoot and try and be bold.
Right.
But Hunter Harvey is a very interesting case here because if you're right, if he is healthy, I think he's automatically an eighth inning guy.
Absolutely.
And can maybe even be a closer if Daniel Palencia falters. If he doesn't, then he's Brandon Morrow.
But that's the thing, and you have to take chances, right? Again, you can't get a bullpen of nothing but Josh haters. And for the record, even haters had his ups and downs, right? You have to take chances. So ultimately, I love the signing. I don't think it prevents us from doing anything else that we want to do, like Imai or Bregman or whatever. But if Jed hits on this one, the talent is clearly there, and this dude is elite when healthy. And can you imagine an elite, healthy Hunter to pair up with Palencia? I agree with you. I think it's 8th and 9th. No matter which way you swing it, I'd probably start off with Hunter 8th and then Palencia 9th. And not even so much if Palencia falters. I expect Palencia to be plenty of last year. He was a stud last year. I mean, how about like he gets 3 saves in a row? He's down one day, and now you got a healthy Hunter. Now he's your closer for that one game. It could play into so many ways. Also, you've been screaming. If anybody I know, you've been screaming for velocity. Well, here's another guy, velocity. You know, we have the Caleb Theobars and whatever, the junk. Other guys we signed don't throw hard. Well, here's a guy who throws hard, and you said to yourself, you love velocity. Well, having velocity at the end of our bullpen is a really, really good thing. And all I can say is, I hope he stays healthy. I think Cub fans will be very, very, very pleasantly surprised with this if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, the results, the variance in the results of this signing, I think, are pretty vast and pretty wide, right? Where there's a part of me with a lot of these guys, and I don't think Harvey is an exception here. When we talk about Jacob Webb, when we talk about Hobie Milner, these guys that they're being brought in, I'm not necessarily grabbing a pen or putting them guys in ink, right? I think we're definitely using a pencil with a lot of these different dudes that we're putting in here because a lot can happen. Yeah. These guys can falter. Bullpens are volatile. Yep. Harvey could still have some injury problems. But at the same time, what I do like that is happening is 2 things. The first one is when you talk about Harvey, if we're going to sit here on this show and say, man, I really would love to see what Porter Hodge can bring to the table next year, I think we need to afford a little bit more space and a little bit more grace to Hunter Harvey, that if he can be healthy, if he can get with the strength and conditioning crew with the Cubs, not only with the pitch lab, that he can come back and get back to his 2023 form, right? The other one also is that what I do like that's happened is, let's just say, unfortunately, injuries aren't Harvey's fault, but what if he can't get out of them? We do have a lot of options now. We do. And we have a lot of backup plans that if Harvey doesn't work out, I still am a believer and thinker that, Ben Brown could have a great role in this bullpen this year. I still believe that if Harvey doesn't work out, we still have enough arms that, I get it, aren't high velocity, but we have guys that are like Javier Assad and different dudes that Porter Hodge again. Yeah. So if you're saying to me, if Hodge and Harvey both get hurt, well then gosh, then you're really snake bit, right? But I think there's a part of it that I think it's a strong move. I think though, can we also just say that maybe the Cubs are done with the bullpen? Is that fair to say?
Somebody in the chat said that they think there's one more bullpen spot right there. Gary Ross, actually, my guy. Cubs have one bullpen spot open and can still bring in Stanek. So, I haven't crunched the numbers or anything. Here's what I will say is that, Hunter Harvey was not a sexy signing. I think it was a very good signing. Again, very high reward situation. I still think the sexy signing is out there. And, one of them has to make a decision by Friday. And the other one is, Bregman could be whenever. But I still think, even with these little signings, that they make a ball club very, very good. And championship teams need bullpen pieces and stuff. I mean, this is not a sexy signing, but it's a needed signing. But I still think the sexy signing is out there. And I can't wait for it to happen.
And when you say signing, I'll also throw out the word trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now with this Harvey signing too, and Gary, you could bring in Stanek, but what's sort of beginning to trend in the direction of a little bit of something that Luke was pushing on a little bit, where let's say you keep bringing in some of these bullpen guys, and even if it is somewhere down where you even talk about a Colin Snyder in the group or whatever it is, if you keep bringing in a lot of these guys, I have no information on this. This is just kind of a gut feeling, or this is sort of a hypothetical of mine, but you're asking yourself the question now, when we're talking about the trade, could Javier Assad now be a piece in a trade? Could Ben Brown possibly be a piece in a trade? We keep going over and over with, well, you got to put Jackson Wiggins into a deal. And for me, I know a lot of teams are asking about Matt Shaw, and it's hard for the Cubs to get off of Matt Shaw when we talk about a big package for a good pitcher. Right. But is there a way where you can maybe now pull from a different coffer right now, where if you have a Harvey in the mix, can now maybe Ben Brown be a part of a package in a deal to bring in a controllable starting pitcher? Those are the questions that I'm starting to ask, because look, the one thing that we're not going to mistake here is that the Cubs have pitching depth. They do. And that's good news for the Cubs and good news for Cubs fans. Yeah. The question is now, how do all these pieces fit, and are all these pieces exactly going to be on the team if they do go that trade route?
Right. Here's a hot take. Me and Ron are in agreement here. I think Ben Brown could be a big piece for this ball club. I do. I think the days of him starting for me are over. Okay. I think that he had a shot, there was some good, there was some bad, but I think he's got the talent and he's got the repertoire to be a phenomenal bullpen piece. And I think that he's somebody that I said it before on the show, maybe a few weeks ago, that I hope Jed and Craig and everybody were like, listen, Ben, like we need you in the bullpen. Train to be a bullpen relief arm. And I would love to see what he looks like in that role all season long. He's young, he's cost controlled, and enormous talent. You saw him shut down the Brewers not once but twice in their ballpark, right? So I think that Ben Brown, my hot take is I think Ben Brown will be a very important piece to the Chicago Cubs next year.
Yeah, I hope so because he's a young pitcher. He throws super hard, and we like that stuff in Major League Baseball. Hunter Harvey's in the fold. Is someone out? Is someone else coming in? And is the big name that the Cubs have been going for, is that finally on our doorstep? We're going to talk a little Tatsuya Imai on the other side of the break. But first, let's hear from our wonderful partners here at the CHGO Cubs Podcast, presented by Toyota. Hey, Cubs fans, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. So if it's the Chicago Bears or any NFL team, if you place a bet that team is going to go up by 17 points, you will have an instant winner and an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections that are marked as winners. So download that app right now and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. You can also double your winnings on parlays with Bet365, 100% parlay boost. So download that app. Use that code CHGO365 when you sign up. Remember, deposit $10, place a bet for $5. They will give you right now $200 in bonus bets, whether that bet wins or loses, and it can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Remember, you must be 21 plus or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling, referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, in-app only. That is Bet365. I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart. My very first car. It was a Toyota Corolla. It was beautiful. It has 180,000 miles, and it took me everywhere. Some of my best memories happened in the Toyota. And Sarah, you got friends that own a Toyota.
Yes.
That's correct. Emma, she loves Toyota too as well. And right now the Toyotathon is on, and you can get your Toyota while the getting is good. Right now you can score value on that versatile RAV4. Ooh, it's so beautiful. It's so sleek, and it's America's #1 selling vehicle, or ride with a Tacoma, the rugged weekend warrior. Or you can hit the road right now with my near and dear favorite, the Camry. It's so beautiful. It's available right now with all-wheel drive. There are red-hot savings, and they're ready for you at Toyotathon. So here's what you got to do. All you have to do is visit your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places, and to that place, it can be that Camry, it can be that RAV4, it could be that Tacoma, whatever it is, make sure you are driving that Toyota. Coming back here on the CHGO Cubs podcast, presented by Toyota. Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman sitting in. We're sitting in, doing the best we can for Luke Stuckmeyer. The wall is caving in currently. Sarah's on the ones and twos. No, there's just a lot of excitement around here.
There is.
There's a lot of clatter going on, and I wonder what it can be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something right now. We are racing towards 100,000 subscribers.
Yes.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're about 800, 700 subscribers short.
Wow.
So two things. The first one, the most important one, is if you are watching this show right now and you have the opportunity and you haven't done it already, just like hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button because it is completely free. All it costs is your finger extending from your arm down to the keyboard and pressing yes. It's the easiest way to find CHGO Cubs content because at least it gives you a notification when it happens, and it's totally free. So we would greatly appreciate that. The other one is starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, which is going to change some of the scheduling for CHGO Cubs here because this is just too exciting. 11 a.m. we're going to go live. And word on the street is we're going to stay live until we hit 100K.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter whether it's CHGO Cubs, CHGO Bulls, CHGO Hawks, CHGO Bears. We're kind of planning on having everyone here. It's going to be kind of like an Avengers episode. So expect me here, Justin Roman here, whether it's Braggs, whether it's Jay Zawowski, whether it's Matt Peck or Big Dave. I would anticipate seeing us all here, and hopefully we can cross that threshold. We're going to cross it together as a team, but also with you guys out there because this relationship is what makes it so important and what makes CHGO different and cool and not like some of the other stuff that's been around for years and years. We try and do things different here. So we would greatly appreciate not only you subscribing, but tuning in tomorrow too as well so you could celebrate it with us.
It's kind of like, I know you're an actor. I know that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, Chicago PD, MD, and
crossover episode.
FD, they had the big crossover episode. Tomorrow's kind of like that, but for CHGO.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. We're gonna mix it up, and it's gonna be awesome. Speaking of the chat that we greatly appreciate, there are some Toyota Super Chats that we're gonna get to in just a little bit, but stick around, everybody. Like Tony May, great one. A couple other ones really great with some trade questions and all that stuff. We're going to get to that in just a moment.
There's a trade proposition that somebody has that actually
by Randy that's really kind of juicy, but we're going to hang on to it because this is how we want to tee it up. The first one is I want to just get into the Tatsuya Imai stuff because a couple things. One, speculation aside, no matter what happens, Friday, January 2nd, which is when we're going to be doing our next show, he has until 4 o'clock Central Time to choose what his Major League Baseball team is going to be. The latest rumors are that some people believe that he's gotten formal offers. Other people believe that there are offers on the table. Some people think that the Chicago Cubs maybe haven't put in a formal offer, but just say, hey, always keep tabs with us because maybe we want to put the extra penny on top. Justin, I just want to get your take on it like this because we've seen from these Japanese players, a lot of them take this right up to the 11th hour of the deadline.
Which is smart because that's negotiations.
Right.
Can somebody top this? Can you top this? Deadlines are it's business, man. You know, that's how it is.
And the way I want to phrase this is I know that we've been frustrated and anxious and antsy about Jed to go out there and reel in a big fish.
Right.
Is it possible that not only for the Cubs and Jed Hoyer, but for other baseball teams, that Tatsuya Imai's decision is holding up, clogging a lot of the other action and the Bregman business and all that stuff? Could his decision be clogging up other moves right now?
1,000%. And, you know, with his deadline, it's like the one definite thing that we have. Like, Bregman can sign whenever, right? He could sign into February. He could sign into March. But with Imai, there's a hard cap. There's a deadline of Friday, and we're thinking it's 4 p.m. here in Chicago. So it absolutely is holding things up because the Cubs are going to know no matter what if they have Imai in their rotation or they don't by Friday. And that's going to allow them to maybe trade for a Mackenzie Gore, whoever it is. Or, no, we're good on the pitching front. Now we can focus on Bregman or trading for an offensive bat, because I don't think they're going to get both Bregman and Imai, but just whatever. I mean, we can dream, right? Yeah. But my point is that, I think he's definitely clogging the market because there's a hard deadline for him. And once that happens, I would imagine other moves are going to start flowing pretty quickly. Yeah,
and look, Gary, let's do a Toyota Super Chat with Gary. He says, Gary, Cubs want a unique offer for Imai. And I think two things can be true, and I think that's an interesting perspective. The first part about it is that it's pretty clear that no one seems to be jumping at his asking price, which was anywhere between 150 to some people speculating it could be up to $175 million. Right. I don't think he's getting that deal. So then it comes down to maybe not the best dollar amount, but let's just say, to Gary's point, let's say Imai or the Cubs want to offer him a Shota Imanaga type deal. Right. We did a couple shows a couple months ago about the Shota deal and how weird and creative it was. There were opt-outs. There were opt-outs, and then a player could opt in. Right. There was extensions of a club option picked up, it kicked into 2 years or whatever, and 3 years. 3 years of $57 million. Yeah. So to be very fair, and Godfather CHGO says, Imai, that's a joke. I don't know. It might not be. I get it. It's a Boris client. Yeah. But Justin, if the Cubs and other teams out there do have these, let's just say, alternative looking deals, these unique offers on there that have a lot of different levers that you have to pull, I'm sure Imai has a difficult decision to make. I don't know if it's necessarily like who's putting the best pitch out there right now. Maybe there are several offers out there, and Imai just needs to figure out which one is the best for him, which can be probably more complicated than we might think.
I just feel like all along the Cubs know that they knew that they needed to attack pitching, starting pitching, because at the deadline, it was way too expensive. Jed Hoyer admitted he kind of misplayed the trade deadline, right? So I thought Dylan Cease or Imai were going to be a Cub. Well, Dylan Cease is not a Cub, okay? Forget about that. Maybe, just maybe, Imai was the guy they wanted all along, or his price point was better for them. And I think we can agree that he's going to make more than Shota ever made, even that first deal.
Correct.
But something creative along those lines, possibly. And if you're Imai coming to the States, I mean, don't forget, we have Shota Imanaga. We have Seiya Suzuki. You know, like it's almost like a soft landing spot for a team that is playoff bound. They're built to win right now. And I don't know, man. And also, by the way, you're kind of offering him, you're going to be like an ace/co-ace with this young stud named Cade Horton. It's a very, very good situation for Imai to come into. And I think all along, I feel very strong about Imai. I think that that's the guy that Jed wants. And we'll just see by Friday if that's the one he gets.
Yeah, the part that you have to sort of go through all the different options right now is that, let's just say the money isn't exactly what he wanted, but he'll be a multi-million-dollar player either way.
Regardless.
Let's just say also that there is an opportunity where if he's 27 years old, he could come over and after 1 or 2 years have the option or the player right to opt out at 29 and see if he can get that 4 or 5 year deal. Yeah. It seems pretty clear to me. I feel confident saying this, that I don't think there are 5-year deals out there right now for Tatsuya Imai. Okay. And if they are, maybe it's with the Angels and maybe it's at a place that he doesn't want to go to.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, very fair. Very fair. And Okamoto's making a run for Pirates are making a run at Okamoto right now, and he's the backup if we don't get Bregman and Gary. I'm going to push back on that because he has to sign by January 4th. So this has to, let's just say, for example, Imai signs with the Cubs on January 1st or January 2nd. That means they have 48 hours to sign Bregman or they have to move to Okamoto. I don't think the timing works out that way. I don't think Okamoto's going to be a Cub.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a possibility, and it could be a hard no, but just for the conversation, is there a possibility that Imai and Okamoto are actually an option to grab both those guys? And I can see from a player standpoint why they'd want to play together, kind of like what LeBron did back in the day. But like, is there any possibility the Cubs land both those guys, or is it hard no?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely possible. Okay. There are offers on the table from the Pittsburgh Pirates with Kazuma Okamoto right now. I think the part about it that you need to make sense a little bit is, first thing is, when your guy comes over, we're not all experts on these players, right? So some people believe that he had a little bit of a shoulder problem last year. Can he stay at third base? Is he more of a first base guy moving forward? Okay. And again, what does that deal exactly look like? And I think you are correct, at least, that Okamoto isn't in the Cubs' plans unless they got Imai, right? I don't think it's like Chris Bassett and Okamoto. Right. I think that's not the idea of what the Cubs are trying to drive towards. Right. So I do think that it could be a package deal, possibly. I think everything's just getting held up on the choice that Imai is going to have to make. Because I think once the Imai deal gets done, I do think you see something happening with Bregman pretty fast. I do think you see the market accelerate for a guy like Zach Gallen. Yep. My other follow-up is just because I've been racking my head on this is I'm trying to just put myself in the shoes of the player. Mm-hmm. And look, I can't, this is a hard one, right? But like, let's just say someone called you tomorrow and said, I need you to move. And in your case, I need you to move your whole family to Germany.
Right.
And so you can, and there's 4 or 5 different places in Germany that are trying to attract, your talents and your, and your services for that job. Yeah. What would mean the most to you? Would it be, obviously the money would have to make sense, but it doesn't seem like he's getting top dollar. So now he has to kind of go to second and third options of location, structure, who are my bosses, what does my front office look like, what does the team look like? I mean, what would you be prioritizing if it wasn't money in this particular case?
For me, it's family, right? Like where my family's most comfortable at. And so putting myself into my shoes, all those things you mentioned, you can knock the Cubs all you want and you can knock Ricketts all you want, but they've had major success with like Japanese players. Sale loves it here. Yeah. Shota, don't tell me he couldn't have got a 2-year deal for more money somewhere. He didn't. He wanted to stay here. So all the things you're saying for me, if Imai is like, he's going to be a millionaire no matter what. But Chicago, and by the way, they're a playoff team that hopefully is going to get even better next year, so they're in it to win it. It just seems like a perfect landing spot for Imai. I know Scott Boras represents him, but don't forget, we signed Cody Bellinger 2 years in a row. Like, we can work with Boras. It is what it is. Like, would I rather him not have Boras as an agent? Sure, but we could still get him. So I think that if I'm putting myself in his shoes, the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field are at least somewhat an appealing destination if all money's equal.
Yeah, and if all money's equal, then you also get into some of the creativeness that maybe the Cubs are trying to get involved in. Where let's just take the 2 teams that have been talked about with Imai the most, even though I think the scent is really cooled with the Yankees. Let's say the Cubs and the Yankees, right? Like, well, let's just say the Yankees are offering whatever, 3 years for $80 million. Right. Let's say the Cubs are also offering, maybe it's 3 years for $75 million, but they have a fourth year that's maybe tacked on that's extra. Or maybe the Cubs are offering $85 million, but you can get out of the deal earlier. Right. There's a lot of different things that I think he's probably weighing on his mind. And again, like, let's not mistake this here. This is a huge decision for this player.
Totally.
He's completely upending and changing his life, and you just want to get it right on the first swing. Yeah. And if there aren't 1,000 teams, which doesn't seem like, that are lining up and just begging for his services and we'll pay you anything, just be on our team. If that isn't the case, then a little bit more is on his plate now to make a decision for him, the person, and the player. And I'm with you, man. Chicago's a great spot to land in. Immediately, I think we will root him. We have a ton. We root for him. We have a ton of history and success of rooting for international players that come over here. And just all he needs is 6 shutout innings on a sunny day at Wrigley in May, and he'll be like, I think I did the right thing.
Well, I mean, and also too, like, I don't know if he's best friends with these guys, but don't tell me he doesn't have Seiya and Shota's phone numbers, and he could be like, hey, how's your experience been in Chicago? I would imagine both. By the way, Yu Darvish as well. Like, Yu Darvish has spoken great things about the Cubs, and apparently we got Seiya Suzuki because of Yu Darvish. So if he's asking his countrymen, I would say that it bodes well for us, and we'll find out Friday. But I all along I thought it was Cease or Imai. I'd be devastated to be wrong on both.
Yeah, and look, we're cruising towards a break here, and I would just say this too as well. Like, my final thought on this is, if you're saying to yourself too, like, if I have to sign a deal where I have to opt out after a year or two to maybe re-enter the market to maybe get that 4 or 5 year deal that I thought I was going to get, the deal that I thought I coveted the most, I would easily choose Chicago over a place like Philadelphia. Or a place like New York, where frankly, if you don't get off to the best start, it can get a little sideways on you. Right. At least in Chicago, you can be in a place where you'll have the option to stick around or kind of rebound a little bit. And also, like, Chicago is also a great place to pump up your value and then re-enter the market and make more money.
Just ask Kyle Tucker about Cub. Oh, wait. That didn't go very well.
Oh, man.
But you know what? It's because he didn't run to first base.
Yes. All right, here we go. We got to take a break. We're coming back on the other side. We're hitting the headline, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of rumors. We're going to dispel. We're going to encourage, whatever it is. Should the Cubs trade Nico Hoerner? Ooh. Jump in the chat. We've already seen some amazing comments. We're going to get to them in just a second right here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. But first, a word from our wonderful partners and our presenting sponsor, also, Toyota. Let's go places. Hey, Cubs fans, our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary. They're here right now to elevate your football season. And it isn't the baseball season right now, but you can be cozy and warm with Sunnyside because it's your home for judgment-free shopping. They have a crazy selection right now with over 100 different strains to choose from, and they have easy online ordering and in-store pickup. So wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has got a location for you. Spots as far south as Champaign, as far north as South Beloit, so stop in the store nearest to you today for expert guidance from their staff. If you're feeling lazy, if it's cold outside, no big deal. Sunnyside has got you covered. If you head over right now to their website for Bright Buys every day, you can get 50% off your first 3 online purchases only if you use the promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. For returning customers, we got a deal for you too as well. Use the code CHGO50, but remember, exclusions apply. It's Sunnyside Dispensary, Bright Buys every day, only for 21 plus or older or Illinois medical card holders. Sunnyside, check them out and stay warm all this winter long. We also want to talk to you about Game Day Men's Health. Here's what's fun about Game Day Men's Health. They came into our CHGO offices about a week ago. We're awesome, super informative. Look, I'm in my 40s right now, got my blood taken. I'm getting a little soft maybe in the wintertime. If you want to lose a little weight, they're going to help you out at Game Day Men's Health, because whether it's peak performance or becoming a better father, better husband, better man, better podcaster, Game Day Men's Health wants to support every man's health journey through personalized care tailored to your goals. It's a very easy, quick process. Trust me, I already went through it. It was easy, and they're super nice. You'll be in and out in just an hour. They've got personal care that is family, local-owned clinics that are extremely successful and have a high success rate. You can feel better and have more energy, whether it's testosterone, vitamin supplements, weight loss, hair loss treatments, whatever it is. Start your best life right now with Game Day Men's Health. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or go to GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. Game Day Men's Health. Check them out today. Welcome back to the CHGO Cubs Podcast presented by Toyota. Thanks to everybody jumping in the chat. Awesome comments today for a Monday heading towards the new year. Loving the passion right now. Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman, Sarah running the ones and twos. Luke is still out, unfortunately, sick.
Poor guy.
Yeah, it sucks.
Dude, I mean,
he's still dealing with it.
I know,
dude.
that's crazy.
It ain't great. But you want to know what is great right now? The Chicago Bears in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears is NFC North champions, and CHGO has just dropped, and quoting Luke, some very sick drip that you could pick up right now.
It takes on a whole different meaning now because he's so sick.
Yeah.
It's sick drip from Luke is actually sick drip, right?
And literally the drip coming out of his nose right now is disgusting. But we have a new collection. It's called the Playoff Season Collection right now. So head over to our website. Awesome new Iceman stuff. Perfect for this winter season. CHGO going to the playoffs. So playoffs only a couple weeks away. Get those orders in right now so you can gear up and ready to rep the Bears and CHGO as they make a run towards what I think is a very possible run at a Super Bowl.
I agree. And what a year for CHGO. I know we're still, we're a couple days away from the new year, but I joined you guys probably towards the back end of the season here with the Cubs. And then, we had an amazing playoff run. Didn't go as far as we wanted to, but ultimately we made the playoffs and, made it to the second round. And we're like one game away from making the NLCS. What a great Cubs run. Hopefully it gets better from here. And now the Bears, who saw this coming? The fact that we're at least locked for the number 3 seed, the fact that the Bears are going to the playoffs has been a really good run for CHGO, and I'm happy to have been part of it, and I'm excited to see where the future goes, man.
Yeah, the city of Chicago is better when the Cubs are good.
1,000%.
And the Bears are good.
1,000%.
And right now,
Yes.
you can really feel it in the city. Great Toyota Super Chat here from Gary, one more. Per John Heyman, just confirmed Cubs held a Zoom call with Imai.
Yes.
That's great news to hear. That officially keeps them. I saw another awesome comment that officially confirms interested.
I'm telling you.
Engaged.
Guys, can we all just I know sometimes on Twitter and stuff, people get pessimistic about that. Can we still have hope? Can we still be optimistic? Maybe the good vibes will carry from Chicago over to Japan, and Imai could feel the fact that we want this dude in our rotation, and we have till Friday to at least still dream of Imai being at the top of our rotation, paired up with Cade Horton for years to come. I sign me up. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, look, I'm right there with you, Justin. I think we fan similar in that way, where I appreciate Godfather CHGO, and I appreciate when people get really frustrated about the spending non-proclivities of the Chicago Cubs. But look, man, I am not just gonna lie down and just take it. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
I'm just not gonna sit around here and go, well, I guess they'll never do nothing.
Right.
That's literally like watching a Cubs game when they have runners on first and second with nobody out and they're down by 2 runs and think that the Cubs are going to lose.
Right.
I'm not going to turn the proverbial TV off, all right?
Right.
We're going to sit here. We're going to keep encouraging, rooting, pounding the table, asking for stuff, hoping that the Cubs do it, trying to represent the Cubs fan base with a sense of respect and passion. And when they don't do it, we'll criticize them rightly. But until then, we're in this race, man. We want them to sign these players, so we're going to say it with our chest out
1,000%.
and try and make it happen, man.
And one thing you could say about John Heyman is that he is attached to Scott Boras. I mean, for the good and the bad, right? So I would take what he's saying to be the Cubs are they met with them? Now, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Are they the favorites? It doesn't matter. The fact that we're discussing Imai and we are heavily involved in this bidding or whatever, I feel really good about that until Friday. If he signs with somebody else, then we can grieve. But until then, man, I still have visions of him being on our team.
Right. And now that we got that optimism out of the way, let's get to our headline here, which was, and I wanted to bring this to you, Justin, today as one of our themes for today's show, is because I saw some reports on it that says that would try and put out there that said, if the Cubs were to sign Imai, if the Cubs were to sign Alex Bregman, that would then mean that they had to start looking into maybe trading Nico Hoerner. Now, Nico Hoerner has 1 year left on his deal, will be a free agent, coming off of, I think, what we would both agree, a career year, another Gold Glove season, almost hit 300, led the team with runners in scoring position, all that good stuff. So I thought we would just bring it to the table and talk it out. I know that this show has done this before last year about should the Cubs trade Nico Hoerner, but this is our first time doing it. So I'm going to ask you, should the Cubs trade Nico Hoerner?
Well, if you follow me at all on this show, I am the biggest Nico Hoerner fan. I have an 11-year-old who plays travel baseball, and I literally sit with him and I watch Cubs games, and I tell Tristan, Look at Nico Hoerner and do everything he does, because he does everything correct. He is the best ball player fundamentally. I feel like mentally, I feel like he always makes the right play. He always does the right thing offensively, defensively, base running wise. He's the perfect player. I really believe that. He's not a superstar, but I feel like he's the perfect player. So I have my son model his game after him. Now, that being said, do I think they should trade Nico Hoerner? No, I don't think so. But if you're telling me that they can get Alex Bregman into this lineup somewhere, and that puts Matt Shaw over at second base, who I think is going to be a stud for years to come as well, I kind of see a path where maybe I'd be okay with it. Nico's got one more year left on his deal. Short of an extension, maybe you can use him to get some really good pitching to put into that staff, also signing Bregman. So I could see a situation where maybe it happens, but I'm not advocating for it. I'm just telling you, for me, I want my favorite baseball team to be better next year, however it happens, however we need to do to get there. And if trading Nico is one of those things, I would be okay with it for the right situation, Bregman or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of framing it. Absolutely. He's not an untouchable, right? He's not an untradeable.
He's not Kate Horton, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there are some conditions where, Sarah, can you hop into the favorites? We bookmarked one of them that I liked a whole lot. What is it?
This trade scenario?
Oh no, Randy Lewis says Cubs are going to sign Bregman, move Shaw to second base, and then trade Nico, Brown, and Casey to Seattle for Kirby or Gilbert.
Would you do that?
I would think about it.
Right.
I would think about it because George Kirby and Logan Gilbert are front of the rotation type guys.
Yeah.
And the other one that Gary's been in the chat saying that, the only way that they would trade Nico is for some sort of quality major league talent that brought back an actual package that you can't say no to, right? The last thing that I would want to do is say that we're going to trade Nico Hoerner for some 20-year-old AA player who will see what happens, or a pitcher who's coming off TJ and they I don't want any of this buying low, stock might be really high type thing with Nico Hoerner. The other thing that I don't want, and here's the thing, is this is one of the rare times where we come up with a theme for the show.
Right.
I rarely will come up with a theme for the show and then immediately try and eviscerate it.
Okay.
But here's the thing. In general, unless those two things happen, there is no shot that you trade Nico Hoerner, okay? And the thing that would really piss me off is that if the Chicago Cubs said, because of Imai, we can't go over the luxury tax, so we have to trade Nico now to get some of his money off the books to fit either an Imai or a Bregman on the team, okay? That stuff is not World Series mentality to me, okay? That is bookkeeping at its best. You can't go to the family and say, I'm going to buy the family a new car, but we have to get rid of the dog, okay? You can't do that, all right? And Nico Hoerner is, and I mean this in the complimentary way, he's a dog. He's the heart and soul of the team, right?
Yeah.
Great clubhouse presence. Everything that you just outlined about him as a Gold Glove player, completely consistent on a day-to-day basis. Sure, he doesn't hit for power, but guess what? The dude always gets on base. He's never overmatched in an at-bat. And if you're telling me right now that they can't stomach maybe going a little bit over the luxury tax to go for it this year with a quality player like Nico Hoerner while also bringing in a player like Imai or Bregman, that's the bridge that I will not cross. Yep. That's the bridge where I get really, really, really upset when they start saying, well, we can't keep this together. We can't bring something in without removing something in kind.
Right.
That part would really make me upset.
Okay. Are the Cubs better? Okay, so going off Randy's hypothetical, which I think is a really good hypothetical.
That's a good trade. That's a really good trade, Randy.
Are the Cubs better after making that trade? Okay, they sign Bregman, they move Shaw to second base, and they trade Nico, Ben Brown, and Casey to Seattle for Kirby or Gilbert. Are the Cubs a better team after that? Now, I'm not asking if Seattle would take that trade. I'm saying, are the Cubs a better team with that trade being made in that scenario? Because I think they are.
I think it's a compelling case that I do think that the Chicago Cubs are better if Alex Bregman is at third, Matt Shaw is at second, and then Nico Hoerner brings in a quality pitcher like George Kirby or Logan Gilbert.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
I think you're there.
I don't want to trade Nico Hoerner at all, but if something like that were to happen, There's an old cliche. I'm a fan of the name on the front of the jersey, not the back, right? I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. We got bumped last year by the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't want that to ever happen again. We need to get better for next season, and I believe that trade makes us better. That scenario makes us better. So I would be all in on that. I love Nico Hoerner, but he's not untouchable for me. But that being said, I'm with you, Joey, about how you said you're not just trading Nico for like an injured high reward situation. Like it would have to be something like that for me to sign off on it and be okay with it.
Yeah, and something that would impact the 2026 Cubs.
Yes.
Not the 2032 Cubs.
Yes.
Another fun comment here from Anthony Pacente. Key to winning World Series. Trade Casey, buy Esteros, get pitching, sign Bregman and Tucker, trade Suzuki, keep Shaw, utility at third, short, and second, or DH. Boom.
Dude.
Wow, he just fixed it.
All right, so like that's for me not realistic, but I love you. Thank you so much for that comment. But.
Hey, you know what? What I love about that is he puts thought into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people will just comment like sign Kyle Tucker and Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso, and you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That has a lot of thought into it. We got another one on the other side, the other great comments on the other side of the break. Let's take one more break here in the CHGO Cubs podcast. Don't go anywhere. We're going to round out the year with some I had some fun Major League Baseball stuff. I'm going to throw at Justin. We're going to finish up our conversation with Nico Hoerner. Jump in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
We're going to hear from some of our wonderful partners. But first, let's take a quick break here on the CHGO Cubs podcast presented by Toyota. Cubs fans, look out that window. Winter is here. It's literally snowing right now. And is your home's heating up for the challenge? It's an important question. Another important question. Do you got a plumbing emergency? You can call Four Seasons. Do you have an electrical emergency? You can call Four Seasons. Need a new hot water tank installed today? You can call Four Seasons. And now is the time, the perfect time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. Thinking about a whole home generator? They've got you covered because at Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra cost for nights, weekends, or holidays. So right now you can save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with Four Seasons. Furnaces starting at $39 a month. Furnace AC combos at $57 a month. So call today and save $50 from your trusted local experts. It's Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. They've been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. And remember, Four Seasons HeatingCooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. Remember, that's Four Seasons HeatingCooling.com. All right. Christmas is over. New Year's right around the corner. There's this little thing called Valentine's Day. And whether you want to romance it up or maybe you want to do a little self-care, let's talk about your next weekend escape or maybe your next big night out, because it is Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. They've got everything you need in one spot. We're talking thousands of the latest slots and table games. And if you are ready to refuel, you've got a ton of amazing restaurants and bars to choose from. Whether you're feeling fancy or just want a quick bite, Potawatomi has got you covered. You don't even have to leave the property. Stay in style in their luxury motel. You can just chill out all weekend long. Just steps away from many call the Midwest best sports book. And if you're heading to a Bucks game this winter, while they're taking on the Bulls, start your day off right at Potawatomi, hit the sports book, and then head out to the game. It's Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Your win is waiting right now, so check it out. It is the perfect home base for all of it. Super convenient, and they've got a full lineup. Potawatomi Casino, check it out today. Rounding third, heading home here on the CHGO Cubs podcast, presented by Toyota. Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman, Sarah on the ones and twos here. Guys are crushing it with the comments today. I'm absolutely loving this. Dude that we never seen in the chat before, Chris Hamrick, 4205, Hap, Wave, no trade, Mariners for some pieces, unjam outfield. I like the comment. I like the idea. Easier said than done, right? I mean,
I don't think there's any chance in the world that Ian Happ waives his no trade clause.
I agree with you. And I think he's going to play out the string and see what happens. If you go to our favorites, Sarah, I did want to hit up Tony May. Can you trade Swanson's contract and play Shaw or Hoerner at shortstop? Ooh. Now, look, for me, that's the escape hatch, right? But here's the problem is that Dansby Swanson is signed, I believe, through 2029 into 2030. Yeah. The last year of his deal, I think it goes down to, 15 or 16 million, but he's $26 million a year moving through everything. And honestly, and I love Dansby, right? But if we're talking about trades and we're talking about Bregman and how do we fit in Sean, can we extend Nico? Honestly, the answer to all those questions with the infield and doing it the Cubs way, which I said, you know what I mean? Like buy the car, sell the dog thing is literally moving on from Dansby Swanson and his $26-27 million a year, and move Nico over to short. Matt Shaw goes to second. Maybe Bregman comes in at third, or whatever that is. I just think that's going to be more difficult to do.
Two things that I don't think are going to happen this offseason, and maybe ever, is that Ian Happ waiving his no-trade clause. I think he wants to be a Cub for life, and I don't think the Cubs can ever trade Dansby's contract. I think that those two things are just – you're going to have – whether you like him or not, I think Ian Happ is going to be your left fielder. I think Swanson's going to be your shortstop. I personally see value in some of those things. You know, for me, Ian Happ at any point this year, now coming up, if I see production declining, I would not be opposed to platooning him. You know, we have Casey, we have some younger guys, Alcantara, some guys that are trying to, you know, they need to get some playing time. You know, so I'm not saying Ian Happ, no matter what, has to be your starting left fielder all year long. But I just think that he's not going to waive it, and I think that Swanson, you just can't trade that contract right now. And I mean, you know, we could dream about it, but I don't think either one of those two things are happening.
Yeah, look, and I like Dansby, but when we talk about changing it up and trying to improve the team, I think that's kind of the easiest way to go about it. The hard part is finding another team that'd be willing to make that deal. And I think you might get into the situation where you might have to eat some money too as well. Final one on the Nico Hoerner thing I want to throw at you is, look, bottom line also, Nico Hoerner, homegrown player.
Yeah.
A guy that worked his way up to the major leagues. Once he got there, he stayed there. And barring the one season where I think he was a little banged up with injury, he's been one of the most consistent Cubs you could possibly ask for. Great steward on the field and off the field.
Yes.
If I offer a 5-year, $80 million deal to Nico Hoerner, do you think that he takes it?
Well, I saw someone in the chat. I didn't double check this on my research, but someone saying that Bruce said that Nico's probably going to get $20 million a year after next year.
So that would be 5 for 100.
You know, so
I'm asking him, would he take a 5 for 80?
Listen, if we could find an extension for Nico Hoerner that makes sense for both teams, and he he wants to be here, I would have no problem having Nico Hoerner be on this team for 5 more years, because he can slide in the shortstop as well if Dansby is, freed somehow. I love Nico Hoerner. He does everything right. So my point is that I would be cool with an extension. I would be cool with a trade if it landed us George Kirby. It just you gotta give me some more details on either one, but I'd be cool with either one as long as it helps the Chicago Cubs this year and beyond.
Okay, cool. So we're going to round out this show here. Just obviously programming announcement, because we are making our race towards 100,000 subscribers on CHGO Sports, which if you have the opportunity, please go ahead and do it. We got a live look at it right now.
Who wants to change the number?
Yeah, don't make us sit here and don't make us sit here and not have the number not changed.
Who wants to make it 99,285?
That hasn't subscribed yet. If you all really have subscribed that are in the chat right now, bless you, you're awesome.
Let me double check.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to double check.
Right,
I think I did.
I just got to see that number move.
Yeah.
Dude.
Who wants to do it?
While you're checking right now, tomorrow at 11 a.m., we're going to go live. It is a CHGO Sports Avengers episode. All the shows, all the talent, all the producers, all the faces. I'll be there. Justin will be there. We're going to go look. I got to move the number. 285.
Someone did it.
285.
Who did it? Comment.
I'll never tell.
Show yourself. Anyways, so that's what we'll add. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Every single sub counts. We're going live tomorrow. Most likely, we are moving CHGO Cubs to Friday. So again, that is a Friday episode you're not going to want to miss, because that is Tatsuya Imai signing day. If he hadn't already done it by then, his deadline is January 2nd at 4 p.m. Central. As of right now, we're tentatively scheduled to go live at 3 p.m. So that might happen during the show. And that might happen right before the show.
Tell them as well that, if he signs before then, we are going to do an emergency pod no matter where we are.
1,000%.
I could be in the wilderness somewhere. I'm going to make sure I got service to do an emergency pod if the Cubs sign Imai before Friday.
Yeah, if it's Ryan Stanek, maybe not. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for chipping in with a couple subs there. Really appreciate it. To round out this episode, because it's the end of the year, Justin, I wanted to do a quick lightning round with you, because I thought this season in baseball was incredible. Frankly, I saw stuff that I had never really seen before. So I kind of want to give you an either or, what was a bigger deal, or what surprised you the most?
Okay.
I don't think that there's a wrong answer to any of this. Jump in the chat if you want to. But let's start with an easier one for you.
Okay.
Let's start with a Cubs-centric one.
All right.
For you personally, What was a bigger deal for you? PCA's 30 for 30 season or the Jake Arrieta-esque second half that Cade Horton had?
That's a really tough one.
There's not a wrong answer.
I love PCA. I'm wearing, no, I'm not. I have a PCA jersey that matches this hat, actually, is what I was trying to say. But I love PCA. And probably my favorite player on the team, maybe Nico Hoerner and PCA. But I would say it's the Cade Horton, Jake Arrieta-esque type performance second half of the year. We've been starving for a homegrown, legit ace, and I think that, PCA is going to be fun for years and years to come. I do think he's the superstar he was in the first half. I really believe in the kid. But there's something about a Jake Arrieta. There's something about, a Greg Maddux, something about, Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood when they were on. And we've been starving for it for a while. And I really believe we have it in Cade Horton, which is why I'm so excited to hopefully get someone like Imai to pair up with him, because we could be unstoppable come October.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Cade Horton thing is awesome. Yeah. And a front of the line starter, and just the way he pitched and the way he put up zeros. It was incredibly impressive, not taking anything away from PCA, but I think the Cade Horton thing was kind of just a little bit more of a bigger deal. Yep. Let's keep it moving here. Better pitcher right now in Major League Baseball, Tariq Skubal or Paul Skeens?
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
Both had incredible years.
Yeah. If you're
top of their game.
If you're asking me who I'd rather have, I would say Paul Skeens.
Okay.
I think he's just something about him is just dominant. I mean, from his build to the velocity. I mean, I just think that, again, no right or wrong answer here, but I think Skeens is the one that I would love to have on the mound. I'd say he's a better pitcher.
Okay, next one. Bigger deal in baseball this year. Cal Raleigh breaking Mickey Mantle's switch hitting record and hitting 60 home runs and the catcher record, or the Cleveland Guardians, who were under 500 on September 1st, chasing down the Tigers and erasing a 15.5 game lead in the division to beat them and win the division.
Oh, man.
What do you think is just a bigger deal in baseball?
I would say Cal Raleigh. I think that he kind of came out of nowhere. I know, obviously I've heard the name, but I didn't know he was a super, super, superstar like that. To when you're breaking records that Mickey Mantle held, and when you're breaking records like that, for me, it's like, wow, there was a lot of people that thought he should have been MVP this year. So ultimately, I think the Cal Raleigh story.
The next one that makes you go, what makes you go, wow, that really happened? So, wow, that really happened in Major League Baseball.
Okay.
An 18-inning World Series game that featured a Freddie Freeman walk-off home run, or in that same World Series, Yamamoto wins 3 World Series games in a 7-game thing.
Oh,
what makes you go, wow, that really happened?
They both really make me say, wow. Really fun little aside here. I loved the 18-inning marathon. It showed me, and I hope it proved to other people, that this stupid Little League rule we have for extra innings, it needs to go away. I can't stand it. I love the 18-inning marathon. I was at the edge of my seat, and those weren't even my teams, you know? I loved it. What Yamamoto did was insane, though. I probably would say Yamamoto doing what he did in the World Series was wow, I didn't see that coming. Yeah,
the 18-inning game was amazing, but the dude won 3 World Series games in 7 games.
Yeah.
In this day and age, in the parlance of our baseball times, wow, that really happened? Cooler stat. Here we go.
Okay.
Heading into this year, Matt Olson currently has a consecutive game streak right now of 782. Okay. Trailing only Cal Ripken, obviously Steve Garvey, Miguel Tejada, Pete Rose, and he just surpassed Dale Murphy. Okay. Is that a cooler stat? Or Juan Soto has the most walks before the age of 27, beating Mickey Mantle. Wow. And he already broke the record when he was 26. So cooler stat right now. His consecutive game streak for Matt Olson, or what Juan Soto has done getting on base with a walk.
For me, it's the Matt Olson thing, because I feel like the days of the Iron Man are over. So, no one's ever going to break Ripken's record, I don't think, ever in the history of the game ever again.
No, correct.
But there is something about being durable and being out there for 162. So I would say the Matt Olson record for me is the bigger deal.
And the final one, we got just a couple minutes here left.
Okay.
The thing that we're going to most likely to never see again in a game.
Okay.
And it's Shohei versus Shohei.
Oh, man.
Shohei's 10 strikeout, 3 home run performance. Or in, the 18-inning game, Shohei reaching base 9 straight times Which one are we more likely to never see again in baseball? All this happened in 1 year of baseball, by the way, which is incredible.
In the same series.
In the same series.
I mean, that's pick your poison, right? Because
they're both highly unlikely.
Yeah, they're both highly unlikely. For me, the bigger deal, we can fight about it, but when you strike out 10 guys as a pitcher and you hit 3 bombs as a hitter in the same game, that's unreal. That's my choice. That's unreal.
I know. Both of them, and the same player, too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a Shohei versus Shohei stat. Well, that was super fun. Yeah, 10 Ks, 3 home runs, Corey. I don't think we're ever going to see that again.
Ever.
We got to get out of here. This is CHGO Cubs presented by Toyota. This is Joey Christopoulos. This is Justin Roman. Sarah on the 1s and 2s, crushing it all in 2025.
Yes.
Do not forget to subscribe to CHGO Sports.
Will you do
one
us a
more
favor?
final reminder?
One more time on the way out. And if you're watching this later, also, you can do that too as well. Just because you're not watching live, you're totally fine. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. You'll see us on the watch along as we race towards 100K tomorrow on CHGO Sports. But for CHGO Cubs, that's it for this year. We're going to see you on the other side in 2026, hopefully with a front-of-the-line starter in tow on January 2nd. But everyone, thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for tuning in 2025. It's been an awesome ride, a wild ride for us. Yeah. Cubs go to the playoffs. We did all those watch-alongs. We ate rally cake up to our eyeballs, and you guys were there to support it, and we could not do it without you. So thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, and you guys welcome me. I appreciate that, for real. Like, I know me and Gary might not always get along, but you guys welcome me to this little trio we have going on. Well, Luke is here in spirit. Yeah. But thank you for being so cool to me, guys.
I came along too as well. So you know what? Like, I really appreciate it, guys. And I want to speak on behalf of Justin, but I promise you the two of us are going to do everything we can to make this an incredibly entertaining, fun, informative show in 2026 while we watch Cubs baseball with you guys, the best fans in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are out here. We will see you Friday. Hope to see you on the watch along tomorrow for 100K. Hit the subscribe button on the way out. And as Luke always says, remember, always fly the W.
Happy New Year.
See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.